Earlier today at an Xbox preview event, there were more looks given for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. This is obviously the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and it's actually looking really impressive. Now, they've already announced that this game is a remake, like I said, and it is going to re-reveal the origin story of Snake, and that they are working to create a faithful recreation of the original story and game design while evolving the gameplay with stunning visuals and a seamless user experience. We're going to be taking a look today at what they showed along with the original show of this, because we're now seeing in-engine footage, which is really cool. I do want to tell you that tomorrow I am actually working really hard now to upload a video about the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. So it's gonna be about 2 Metal Gear videos in a row. I hope you guys will check that out. These videos don't usually do quite as good on my channel, but I really love this series. And I kind of want to talk about the Master Collection. There's a lot of misinformation and misunderstandings going around about it, and there's so many differences between the platforms. So we're gonna take a look at that tomorrow. I hope you'll join us. But as far as today, we were seeing a lot of very beautiful looks at Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. They're showing us the jungle. They started with the very iconic image of the backpack hanging from the tree, which if you've recently played Snake Eater, or maybe you played it a bunch, you know is one of the first objectives for Snake to actually go and retrieve that. And then we get to see him sneaking through the swamplands, surrounded by wildlife, and just kind of trying to stay out of the view of enemies. I really like the recreation of Snake's character model. This is really well done. And so far the cover system to me looks very good as well. We're not really seeing a UI yet. I'm sure they're saving that because they wanted this to look very cinematic. And most of what we see is just kind of cameras hovering through the environments of the jungle, with Snake doing various things like hiding in foliage, doing takedowns from behind, and even climbing around in the jungle just in general. We also see a lot of different wildlife moving around through the jungle, so it really does seem like they're trying to preserve that aspect of the game, because hunting was one of the actual, I would say, draws and gimmicks of this game that people really liked. Being able to feel like you were in a living, breathing world and you needed to actually kill things in order to survive. It's not survival horror, obviously, but it added survival elements to the tactical espionage action that we know Metal Gear for. It was adding in things like eating, a stamina bar that actually had to do with that system, and just survivalist aspects. So to see these things come back on the Unreal Engine 5, so far it's really pretty and really interesting. I'm going to mix in some footage of the original Metal Gear Solid 3, which I was playing from the Master Collection. Again, video tomorrow on that. But the whole thing that I find interesting about this is that this looks actually really faithful to the original game so far. And I say so far because there's no release date given yet. We don't really know when this is coming out. We have to wait a little bit to see that. And there is also a lot of talk about Konami. Is Konami redeeming themselves? Are they not? Is the Silent Hill 2 remake going to be okay, handled by Bloober? Are these other Silent Hill games going to be good? Well, what about the Master Collection? It had problems on a bunch of platforms, so is Konami even trying here? These are all questions that I think are fair, which is why I want to talk about that Master Collection some this week. But I do think that so far from what we're seeing, this is really cool looking. I'm really hoping that this is not sleight of hand. And I don't mean that they're pretending that they made this. What I mean is that anybody can put together a pre-release trailer months or years before release, and then the game coming out could be completely different. It could be completely broken. It could have all kinds of glitches. It could have all kinds of frame drops and stuttering, stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that I think is worrying about this. So far, the look of the trailer, the jungle being recreated faithfully, the first-person aiming system, which we saw a glimpse of, the climbing on ledges, which we saw, the CQC takedown from behind, these things match up very well with what Metal Gear Solid 3 was and is. But then the question becomes, will it really be this when it comes out? How will the UI look? Will those things be updated? I love Snake's new character model, so I'm not really worried about character design. I'm just saying that, just because we saw this beautiful trailer, it doesn't mean it'll launch perfect or that it'll be, going off without a hitch. I'm just very hopeful seeing this, that this is actually what this game will turn out like, because I love this game. It is one of the best, I think, stealth games of all time. This series in general holds the candle for that, up there with the Splinter Cell series. And I really do think that the story of Snake, well, I guess I should say the story of all the Snakes, is something that's really powerful and interesting. And it's really cool to me to see a recreation of this in modern day, and a faithful one at that. It doesn't really seem like they're changing a lot. It really does look like the game was, but with modern graphics and in the Unreal 5 engine. So with that said, I'm interested to hear what you think. It's not a very in-depth look yet. This is an in-engine look rendering at real time. It is just a preview, and it was only about 1.5 minutes, but I really do love the way it looks, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts. I know I already said this, but tomorrow, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection video, working very hard to get that up. Is it worth buying? Is it not? Before you just say yes or no, I am compiling a bunch of information and all kinds of stuff for that, so I hope you will check that out. And also, if you're interested in more Metal Gear content, this is a topic I consistently swing back to because I love these games. So if you want to hit subscribe, leave a like, those things help my channel out a ton. We also did play through Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear Solid 1 over on my Let's Play channel, Degenerate Plays. The link is there in the description down below to that video, and I hope you'll join us there as well. Have a fantastic day, and as always everyone, stay shui.